Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us on a good Friday morning in mid-April. I love to have you all with us, and we're going to talk about Social Security claiming with the coach Dave Pimper today. So, looking forward to it. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. There'll be a couple polls that will pop up here, a couple here as I go through a few things, and then one at the end as well. I would love to have you give your quick answers to those polls so that we can get moved along. And as I mentioned, don't hesitate to throw your questions in. Again, thank you for joining us. My name is Steve Murray. I'm the president here at Insurance Agency Marketing. And get to do these webinars with Dave a lot of Tuesdays, sometimes on Fridays, where we talk about some really successful sales approaches that we've had over the years. Social Security claiming is really at the top of that. We've done all kinds of seminar opportunities that have been very successful, but none so consistently and long-term successful as some seminars around Social Security claiming. Dave would also tell you that part of understanding Social Security has been very beneficial in helping his clients, but also been a great way to meet a lot of new prospects. It's a expertise that many of your fellow financial advisors have not taken the time to get under their wing, and so it gives you a real advantage in the marketplace. So let's talk about a few things before we get rolling here. I'm going to run through some stuff pretty quickly. If you have any questions, certainly type them in, but we'll get moving right along here. So I want to make sure that just because of the group that I mentioned, the new producer builders, you can see you can claim those at various levels. And there are many of them are designed to help you grow your business. A couple of them are strictly rewards, whether it's a trip to a Ritz-Carlton property or straight cash. But you can see we've definitely tilted the opportunities and made it more attractive to you to take advantage of things that can grow your business. We think that's good for you. It's good for us. So take advantage of those. If there's something not on there that you have already used successfully that you would like us to donate to at that kind of higher level, we would be open to that as well. That's a conversation with me or one of your sales directors, but do not fail to have it because there's some definite good reasons to do that. So couple things that we keep on the docket here and we have had for years and years have been very successful for us. The first is the RPM program. It's very easy program. If you refer somebody and they get appointed with us, we send you a check for $50. You got to lunch or dinner or whatever, and that probably not much of a dinner for $50, but anyway, it's a great reason for you to at least make that introduction for us. But the reasons really get great if we convert that person to getting in production with us, and then you start earning a bonus based on their business. So for ease sake, I'll tell you on the annuity side, you can get an idea. It's 20 basis points. You're like, 20 basis points, what's that? I will tell you that those are the biggest checks that we send out. So it adds up to big dollars over time. It's a nice thing about that. It's a way to a little bit of agency build without taking anything out of your referrer's pocket or your referee's pocket. They have everything available to you is available to them, including a referral bonus if they refer someone. So it's nothing out of their pocket and it goes into your pocket. You don't have the liability of agency building. So if you refer somebody and they do business, and then there's a chargeback, you don't have to worry about any of that. But the good news is that it can add up to be some pretty good money. Marketing reimbursements, another program. Again, very simple. We put money in your account whenever you do business with us with any carrier. Then you can use that money to grow your business. And when you do, then we'll match your spend dollar for dollar. So it kind of doubles up for you the value of your marketing dollars. And again, another program that we send out some really good sized checks on as well. So love sending money to our producers. I will tell you that. Life and Annuity Academy. I'm going to throw up a quick poll. Before I do that, look at some of the things that we talk about there. So we'll have sales ideas and strategies from top producers. We're going to talk about indexed annuities in detail. We're going to talk about some of the things that are maybe DOL, for instance, Reg BI, interest rate compression, interest rate expansion. What challenges carriers are facing that could affect your business. We're going to talk about some seminars. We're going to talk about some opportunities to help you with some large case marketing on both the life and the annuity side. If you need some help there, we'll talk about a couple business insurance concepts. We'll talk about Roth conversions and in-service non-hardship withdrawals, things like that. We'll talk about income riders. But mostly, as you see there, what we want to mostly talk about is things from a sales and marketing standpoint that can help you grow your business. And this is face-to-face now. We went for about 20 months without being able to do an academy. For a lot of guys, there were I think some missed opportunities in there on our part. For a couple reasons, and it's just different when you cannot get in front of somebody and have these conversations face to face. We're back at it now. We've got 4 or 5 in total face-to-face training events planned for this year. We've already had the first one. We'll probably have another academy or two, maybe one here in Omaha, so that would be three. And then we have a couple smaller events. So if you have interest in being offered the opportunity to join those events, put yes on this poll, and we'll send you out a form that basically gets you in the pool of attendees. If we don't have that form, then we don't let you know when we have academies coming up. And like I said, we've got probably another 4 opportunities, whether it's here in Omaha or one in conjunction with the carrier, or maybe we're looking at doing one maybe later in the year down in South Texas. So there are a lot of opportunities to get in front of the IM staff and to learn more from some top producers and to grow your business from a sales and marketing and best practices standpoint. You will leave the academy, guaranteed. You'll leave the academy feeling like it's one of the better events that you've ever been to grow your business. We hear that over and over again. We did the last academy. We had people rate as they went out the door. We had a scale of 1 to 5. 32 people. We had 31 people put it was a 5. We had one person put it was a 4. If you're doing that in the Google rankings, that would mean that's ranked at like a 4.98. So a very, very high ranking, and that's from people that have been to the events. You can see we take care of your expenses. We take care of your travel. We'll take care of your hotel. We know it's valuable. We know it's valuable enough for us to go to that expense and effort. You will learn that as well if you attend. So if you are interested in potentially being considered to come into one of our academies here in 2022, then you need to put yes on that poll. We'll send you out a registration form. You complete that and send it back, and then you're in the pool of prospects. You can imagine that pool of prospects can be large. The academy spots go fast. The good news is that we have a lot of them this year, so we'd love to have you in. I'm going to close that poll up. There are a bunch of you that didn't vote. I don't really know what that means. Frankly, it's okay to say no. I'll say that. Don't worry at all about saying no. If you're unable to vote, for whatever reason, go ahead and call in. If you want to be included and you just want that registration form, call in, talk to your sales director and say, hey, send me the registration form for your Life and Annuity Academy. So I'm going to close that poll out, and thank you all for, or not all, but thank you, a few of you, most of you, I guess I'd put it, for voting. Those of you that didn't vote, consider giving us a call here at 800-255-5055. I'm going to close that up. Let's get moving on here. I want to make sure that you're aware of our Firelight system. Most of our apps now are done via the eApp solution, and a lot of times that's done where one of our producers will go, like if he's doing an Equitrust app, he'll go to the Equitrust website, and certainly that can be done. I will tell you that now it's much, much easier just to go to the IAMS website, because all of the carriers that you do business with are at that one location. And the advantage to that is that if, let's say, you're doing an application on one client with 2 carriers, you could do that. You can copy and paste that information across within the IAMS solution for Firelight. So it's the same as if you were doing it with the carrier, but it's all in one spot, which makes it easier. You don't have to go from carrier to carrier. The registration process takes about 2 minutes. We just have to get you go on the website and register, and then the applications are all there. It makes your life a lot easier, makes our life somewhat easier for a couple reasons. So we really appreciate it if you're doing the Firelight apps, which most of you are now, that you go to our website to do that. If you have questions on how to register or how to do that, just give your sales director a call, and they'll be glad to walk you through that. You've got an advertising team here. It's, it says Creative Marketing Solutions, but basically what they do is they will help you in your area or with your clients, or however you want to do it, to grow your image and do some things specifically to help you grow your business. So that could be website, it could be Facebook marketing, it could be getting your Facebook set up, it could be any number of things. You can see there before you all the things that they can do to help you, and most of that, or as much as we can, we do at no cost, because it's good for you, it's good for us. Any things that have a hard cost or take a lot of labor on our side, we use a lot of marketing reimbursement to help offset that cost. So again, it's nothing directly out of your pocket. So a lot of ways to use that. I hope you take advantage of the sales team here. I've never had anybody that's not been really amazed and happy with the results of working with. I should probably put some of the if I put up some of the things that folks say to me about about our advertising group and the great job that they do. Uh, it would really help you understand the benefit, and we should do that or have somebody come on and do a testimonial because they do a really great job. I call it magic. It seems like magic to me what they can do. It can help your business grow, and it can be pretty non-interference for you in terms of what you have to do to get it going. So I would take advantage of that. And again, the way you start that ball rolling is call up your sales director. Many of you are using the retirement analyzer. Some of you are not. In fact, most of you still are not. I would recommend that you at least take a peek at this tool. If you're doing business with us, we take care of the cost. So it's 60, $70 a month that we pay on your behalf. If you're just getting ready, get rolling with us, and you're not sure if this is something you want to try, we'll let you look at it without having done business for a little while, see if it's a good fit for you. If you have interest in that, you can see before you on the screen kind of what it looks like to produce the collateral that it produces. It's really good stuff. And call Marcus or email Marcus. I'll shoot you in the chat box here. I'll shoot you his email address here shortly. And just say, hey, give me a link to the retirement analyzer and let me try it. He'll check in with you and make sure that you're using it. We don't want to pay for it for you if it's not being utilized by you. But in general, he's a great resource to help you. Just how do I use it? What's to do? Walk me through a couple. He'll put you in touch with a great suite of tools available directly from the people at Thomas Gold that puts this together. Great trading stuff. Suffice it to say that many of the folks that use that they don't do a appointment with a client anymore without doing a retirement analysis on them. So it's a great tool. IAMS Wealth Management. If you're looking for a RIA, or you're thinking, hey, maybe I need to get that Series 65, IAMS Wealth is great place to start. They're a great team. We formed that about 4 or 5 years ago now. They've been slowly and surely, organically, and growing their asset base by helping our folks from the insurance side include managed assets in their business. You can see before you on the screen some of the reasons why you should consider that. It's no doubt going to increase your revenue. Everybody that we talk to, everybody that we've helped through that process has said it not only helped I grew my asset management business, but it also helped me grow my annuity business. It's just a nice part, a nice additional piece to have. If you've ever had to refer a client, it's going to improve your client retention, and if you can keep them in-house. A lot of people are overly concerned, maybe a little bit intimidated by as managed asset business. It's easier, more built out than you might think. Passing that test. If I have a CFP, of course, in most states you don't have to pass the test. You already can just go ahead and get licensed. But if passing that test can be a little bit of a time-consuming thing, we can help you through that process as well. So if you have any interest in that, I would just encourage you to give us a call. Let me know here. I'll do this because I see I've got a couple questions popping up about how do I get in touch. So if you have interest, just put yes. If you don't have interest, put no. All I'm going to ask here is that you just vote quickly for me. I don't want to hold everybody up just to get this complete. Thank you. I see all of you are voting quickly. I appreciate that. And we'll put that down in a second. And I see many of you, obviously, for many of you that already have that and you're happy with your RIA, I understand why that's not a good fit. If you do have an RIA, here's the things that IAMS Wealth will be better at. They have good payout. So their payout is just a skosh over 1%, and it doesn't go through a grid. So you don't get 90, 80, 70, 60% of 1%. You get that whole 1% payout. Their fees are very reasonable to get a lot for them. You get a database, you get a website, you get all the support you need, including compliance, all the product assistance, and they're very service oriented. So if that's a reason to consider that as well. If you're looking at taking your test and you need some help with that, that's what they've done. Most of our guys that on the IAMS Wealth side came from the insurance side and needed some help through the process of taking the test. So they've done that over and over and again, and they can help you kind of put that together. We've got a great team over there. Thank you all for voting so quickly. I'm going to close that poll as well. All right, let's get cruising here. Hey, I get to talk about this. So we did, unfortunately, we were unable to cruise. There was too much going on over there. They changed all the ports on us and really changed markedly what the cruise was supposed to be. We weren't going to end up in Venice anymore. We weren't going to go to Croatia. And Montenegro was out. We were going to end up in Malta, which is a little island. Flying out of there was a pain. So we had to. Uh, Exit that and pay the fee to get out of that, and because we wanted to get more people included, and that wasn't what we wanted anymore. So if you look at what we've done, we're going to the Greenbrier, and we're also going to DC. The top 20 are going to DC, and then they're going down to Greenbrier. The second 20 are going to spend an extra day at Greenbrier, so they're going to be there for 5 nights and 6 days basically. And it's really a great property, and we'd love to have you all qualify for that. We have taken the qualification down from 4.5 to 4 as well. So there's a lot of opportunity for you. We'd love to have you join us. If you have any questions on that, call your sales director. We've sent out emails. We've tried to leave messages. We've made phone calls and sent it out but I know that there's still some of you that are not familiar with what we're doing there. We'd love to have you and your guests join us at the Greenbrier. We're going to have a great time out there this October. It should be a great time. It's kind of nestled in the mountains, and so that will be an awesome, or hills, I guess people are like it, of West Virginia. So it'd be a great time to see some fall foliage, and it's a very, very stately, old world property that they've updated. It has Old White. They played a PGA course. That's PGA course that they have there as well. So we'd love to have you join us there. So, Dave Pimper, I talked a little bit about Dave. I'm going to talk a little bit more. Dave, I know you're out there listening. So here's the thing. Dave has got 40 plus years of experience in the business, and what Dave's experience is in is on both the securities and the insurance side. But what Dave really excels at, I think, is the sales and marketing part of our business. So he does a great job of getting in front of probably 15 to 20 prospects easily, or prospects and clients each week. And you can tell that's a pretty full calendar. And you know that if you were seeing that many prospects and that many clients on a daily basis, that your production would be like Dave's. You'd be doing the bigger numbers that you want to do. It's a little work involved, a little time consuming, that you have to be dedicated to it. And Dave can help you through that process. And today he's going to talk about one thing that really has opened up his business over the last 10 or 12 years, and that's Social Security claiming. He's added that as a high level of expertise to help his clients. And then what he found was that there's a lot of, he does a radio show, and that's a major call-in subject to Social Security claiming. He has seminars around Social Security claiming. That's some of the ways that he's met many of his new clients over the past 10 or 11 years. So great to have him on here today and talking about Social Security claiming. A lot of experience. He's done about 500 plus seminars now. He's been doing radio for about the past 32 years and really upped his level of Social Security claiming expertise over the last 10 or 12. So with that, I think I'm going to turn it over to the coach, Dave Pimper.
Very good, Steve. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's funny about the production trip. I think the place we're going to, or the folks are going to go to now, they're going to love it. I mean, that's a beautiful lay of land, and that's kind of world renowned. And so, even though we're not cruising, I think that in today's day and time too, in the coronavirus, like in Nebraska, it's not a big deal, but in some part of the countries, it still raises its ugly head. You could tell from all the changes that happened within that trip. But you're smart. I think that's going to be a great trip for everyone who is involved with it. So looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
You bet. Hey, so Social Security claiming, here we go. My name is Dave Pimper. I'm in full production. Full production. In fact, I was just yesterday, to give you an idea, yesterday and the day before, I had Social Security workshops, which we handle here and we promote from a proprietary standpoint. But I got 10 appointments on Wednesday and 4 appointments yesterday, so 14 appointments on a $2,750 investment. So what happens is that when I look at that and I say, that's less than $200 per set appointment, pretty darn good, pretty hard to beat. Knowing Social Security, I can tell you right now, that sets you apart from the majority of advisors. And most Americans, the public certainly doesn't, they just don't know much about Social Security claiming. So there's 3 ways that you can get coached up with Social Security claiming. two of them are paid for by IAMS. They pay me to coach you. One is through seminar marketing, like we just had, and one's through something called Retirement Boss Radio, where you're your own radio host. I've got an hour show on an AM station, KFAB in Omaha, and I average between 10 and 15 appointments a month there also. So between seminars and radio, I hope to have 30 set appointments. They're set. I don't have to set them. They're set. At the radio station or set at the seminar itself, and that really keeps me busy with production. I mean, it's just the more people you see, the more appointments you have with qualified people, the more business you will do. But a lot of it revolves around Social Security. So each one of those ways, marketing programs, IAMS pays for that for you. They pay me. And the second is you can just say, I don't want marketing, or I have enough people. I don't want to increase my book of business. I just want to learn Social Security. It's $800 for me to coach you in 4 coaching sessions. So let's go. This is going to take half an hour. So, Steve, we're going to be done at 10 till the top of the hour. That's when we're going to be done. And we're going to go through a lot of really, really good information here. Steve, are you there? I don't know
I
if you
am.
gave me.
Yep.
Yeah, did you give me the slides or not?
You should. Yeah. Go try and move it around a little bit.
I'm trying to move it around a little bit. Let's try it again here. I don't know
I'm going
why
to
I
move the
can't do that.
first. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to move that first one for you, and
Oh,
then
there
I'll
it is.
try it.
There it is. I got it. How about that? Was that me that did it?
I think that's me.
No, I think that's me. Oh, it is me. That's you. Okay, who's on first? Okay, here we go. All right. So, yeah, just stick with me until I make sure I got this. So, most retirees get little advisor help on Social Security. How true? Sarah O'Brien from CNBC says a majority of older Americans get no professional advice about a key part of retirement planning, Social Security, even if they work with a financial advisor. A recent study concluded. So, isn't that interesting? Yeah, and I do have a Steve. So
Perfect.
let's take a quiz. Yeah, let's take a quiz here. Let's see how you do on this quiz. So there's 5 questions. And here's the first question. To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim the benefits? Okay? So say you're single. To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? The answer is not full retirement age, it's age 70. 70. You can delay it to 70 to get your biggest benefit. Second question, what's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest age you can receive survivor benefits if you're not disabled? Answer is 60. Okay? Third question, does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Does your spouse need to receive benefits to receive spousal benefits? Answer is, yeah, you do. Question 4, can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Answer is, if I can click this, there we go. Yeah, if 4 stipulations are met, and here are the 4 stipulations, which is interesting. If you can guess 2 of the 4, I'll give you this answer correct. What are 2 of the 4 stipulations? Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Yes, they can if those 4 things line up, and I need you to get 2 of those right. One of them is marriage lasted 10 continuous years. You are currently unmarried, not the ex, but you are. X is at least 62, divorced 2 years ago or longer. If you guess 2 of those 4, I'll give this answer to you that you got it correct. But all 4 of those have to line up to do it. And then the last question of our quiz is, are you eligible for survivor's benefits? If you're divorced, are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Yay or nay? Answer is, yeah. And I'm not going to go through them because we just did. I'll give you the answer if you guessed yes. But if those four stipulations still have to be met, you know, married for 10 years, currently unmarried, ex is 62 or older, and your divorce was 2 years ago or longer. Yeah. How'd you do on that quiz? Did you get them all right? I doubt it. Almost everybody, no one gets them all right. I mean, I did because that's what I do. I mean, I have an expertise around Social Security claiming. But if you got only one or two right, yeah, I'll tell you right now, you should think about getting coached up with Social Security. All right, Jana Heron, a couple 3 years ago, she writes, in the USA Today, doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement. So bullet point one says, how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? And listen to this closely. Bullet point two. Retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime. Why? Because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Bullet point three, only 4% of retirees did take Social Security at the financially optimal age. Wow. That's why so many people sign up for appointments. Social Security's been around for a long time, since 1935. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the one who started it, first check in 1940. The age in the beginning was 65. You couldn't take later, you couldn't take earlier. 65 was the age. Now, of course, you can take earlier at 62 for a discount, wait longer, up to 70 where it grows. There's automatic cost of living allowances. Automatic. So if there's an increase in COLA, you're going to get it. There's only been 3 years there hasn't been a COLA increased. 2010, 2011, and 2016. There was never any taxation until 83, and then there was a higher taxation in 93. Those are for people above certain brackets. Up to 85% of your Social Security can be taxed. The Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015, yeah, they phased out, file, and suspend over 6 months, and restricted application of coordinating of spousal benefits got phased out over 8 years, and it will be gone here in a couple years. This is interesting. How important is Social Security? It's very important. Social Security is very, very important. What happens is that 59% of all the recipients of Social Security say it's their major source of income. Wow. How important is that? Remember I said there's 3 dates or ages that are important to Social Security? Yeah, there are. Full retirement age is somewhere between 66 and 67, depending on your age. 67 is the oldest you can be for full retirement age. You can take early, but if you take as early as 62, anytime earlier than full retirement age, it's discounted. You get less. And how much less is it? Yeah, it's less by anywhere from 25 to 30% less. If you wait longer than full retirement age, then what happens is that you get a bigger benefit. It grows 8% a year, pretty big, but you have to take by 70. It doesn't grow from there. Those are the 3 ages or dates. Can Social Security have a huge value? Well, it can, but it depends on claiming at your right time, not the right time, but claiming at your right time. Trust fund has 2.8 trillion, ran a surplus in 2020, but in 2021, which those numbers should be coming out here within the next couple months, I think it's going to be for sure. It's going to run a deficit. A lot of people in the pandemic, took retirement early in their Social Security. It is going to run out of money. That trust fund will run out of money. They're going to start dipping and start snowballing. So the government Social Security Administration will need to either increase in taxes or they'll need to increase the age, or they might do both. And if you have any questions here, absolutely type them in. I'll answer those for you. Remember, it's a pay-as-you-go system. That's payroll taxes. They fund the majority of Social Security. The 6.2% that is paid by the employee, the 6.2% that's paid by the employer. That 12.4 funds the majority of Social Security. The government never used to do this, but for years now they've borrowed or they've sold off the special issue treasury bonds and they replace them with IOUs. They pay off other part in the general budget. So some people think this is a Ponzi scheme because it's not backed by a hard asset like gold, silver, or even bonds. But the currency isn't backed by a hard asset. Used to be, but it's not now. Are you concerned when you go pay something with a dollar bill that it won't take your money? Until that time happens, I wouldn't be concerned a bit about Social Security claiming. You need 40 quarterly credits to get a benefit. If you have 39, not pro rata, you get no benefit. So if you earn each quarter is worth $1,510. If you make $1,510, then you will get a quarterly credit. You need 40 of those. You can earn up to 4 a year. So if you make 6,040, you get 4 quarterly credits. The more you make over your working career, the higher your benefit is, and it's inflation adjusted. They take your 35 highest years, not your highest 3 or 5 or 7 years, but your highest 35 inflation adjusted years. And remember, COLA came out at 5.9%. That was a shocker, highest in 39 years. Inflation right now is actually at 8.5% because it's gone up since October of 21 to pay for the 22 in COLA. So it may even be more next year. It's highest in 39 years. Gotta love that dog. Full retirement age. If you're born from 1943 to 1954, your full retirement age is 66. And then it stair steps, like I was born in 55, it's 66 years and 2 months. If you're born in 56, 66 and 4 months. 57, 66 and 6 months. Yeah. 1960 and later, 67. Okay? So if a child born today, 67 is going to be that newborn's full retirement age. If you take early, remember, if your full retirement age is 66 or 67 or somewhere in between, you're going to get anywhere from a 25 to 30% decrease if you take before full retirement age. If you wait longer, like I am, then you're going to make more money. I mean, I've always made pretty good money in our business, and so I'm at the top of earnings. Let's just say it's $3,000. Think about it. I let it grow for the last year. Delayed retirement credits from 66 to 67 2 months. That's a year. I'm guaranteed 8% there. Then I'm guaranteed 5.9% is what I'm guaranteed on cost of living. So my benefit is guaranteed to go up $417 a month at the end of this year, or right now, because that's how much it's growing. Just wild of how much it grows year to year to year to year to year with cost of living, and if you let the delayed retirement credit work for you. Very few people do that. I'm a big believer if you know the individual benefit, the spousal benefit, the divorce spouse benefit, the survivor benefit, and restricted application. That doesn't come into play much anymore, so we don't spend a lot of time on it. But if you know those benefits, I'll tell you right now, it's a big, big deal. You know about 85% of all of Social Security claiming. So here's in kind of simplistic form. Here's how the spousal benefit works. Dave's PIA is 2,400. PIA stands for Primary Insurance Amount, which is your amount at full retirement age. Dave's is 2,400. Amy's is 1,000. Dave takes his. Amy takes hers. They're married. Dave gets 2,400. Amy, the smaller one, always has the option, not the higher one. Higher one will always take theirs when it's time they turn it on. But Amy gets $1,000, or which is all of her benefit, or half of Dave's, whichever is higher. What's higher here? Half of Dave's. That's $1,200. $200 more than Amy's. In the eyes of Social Security, Amy takes her own benefit, 1,000, and then she gets a top up of another $200 of a spousal benefit. That's how it works. A divorce spouse benefit. So to get a divorce spouse benefit, here's what has to happen. Remember, I said there's 4 things, 4 stipulations that have to be met. Let's go through them again. Marriage was 10 years or longer in existence continuously. That's one thing. Second thing is you have to be unmarried. You could have married after you got divorced, but as long as then you're unmarried, when you take the benefit, you can get it. Your ex is at least 62. Marriage lasted. Divorce was at least 2 years ago or longer. If all of those line up, you can use your spouse at your ex as a spouse just as if you were still married to them in the eyes of Social Security. And why that's so important? You have so many more options with divorce benefits. Many divorcees don't use this. It doesn't affect the person who's not using it in any way, and you can both use it on each other, which is really unique because most things you can't double dip with Social Security. So here, survivor benefits, and my wife says, no one gets out of here alive, and physically that's absolutely the case. Dave's benefit is $2,000. Amy's benefit is $1,200. Dave dies first, like most guys die first. He dies first. Amy can either keep her benefit or drop hers and take Dave's. She can't get them both. Keep her benefit, not Dave's. Drop hers and take Dave's. Well, what's she gonna do? What's higher? Dropping her $1,200, taking Dave's $2,000. Absolutely, it's higher. She makes $800 more dollars. Has to be requested. Another cool thing about survivor benefits is that survivor's benefits is not available if a well. Here's what happens: a survivor benefits available at the age of 60. That was one of our quiz questions. At the age of 60, you can still file and suspend, which was phased out 6 months ago, or for over a 6 month time period, was phased out about in 2016, actually, after the 215 Budget Act. You can take take the widow's benefit at a discount, and then you let yours grow. Or you could take yours at a discount and let the widow's benefit grow. Or you can wait until full 66 and there's no discount, take the widow's benefit, and then let yours grow still. I mean, there's all different things you can do with file and suspend still within, which is really cool, within the survivor benefit. Now, coordinating spousal benefits, and most people are, because you have to be 68 years in 4 months to be able to do this. You got to be born before January 2nd of 1954. And what happens is, again, let's say Dave's PIA is 2,400, Amy's is 1,000. Amy takes her benefit, which she must to make this work. Dave wants to let his 2,400 grow. He's still working. He's not going to take. He's going to let it grow that guaranteed 8% delayed retirement credits. Well, if you restrict your application, you can delay it and get your 8%, but then you also can get a spousal benefit, half of Amy's benefit. Half of the 1,000 is 500. That $500 a month for 12 months or $6,000 a year is absolutely free money. Free money, and that's still available for until January 1 of 2024. What can and can't Social Security do? Well, most importantly, they can't give you advice. Is that wild? They can't give you advice. What they can do is they can go in and give you highest benefit right now. This comes right from their manual, the program's operational manual for the employees at Social Security. Look at D. Provide enough information so that claimants make informed choices, but do not give advice. Who gives advice? Moi. I do. If you know Social Security, you can. If you got any questions here, type them in. I'm going to be more than happy. We're going to be done here within the next 5 minutes, and then we'll answer anything that you got. So consider all your income streams before you claim Social Security. And that's so true. It's not a standalone income stream. It's the most flexible, I consider it, of all income streams. Claiming at your right time is so important. Not the right time or a right time or your neighbor's right time. I always say it's the worst water cooler talk there is. Hey, Dave, I took it 62 and you should too. Hey, Dave, I took it 70 and you should too. No, it's like saying, hey, Dave, I love the color violet and you should too. No, it's an independent individual choice. And only you really know how to claim to maximize your benefit. And the survivor benefit, all the time I say, well, people say, well, I'd have to live to 79 for the break even. Well, not if there's a survivor benefit. Break even may be way before that. Okay, here's the 5 pillars of income. And I do this as a worksheet when I'm searching for money too with my clients, my prospects. Working wages, full or part time pensions, income producing assets. Remember, I work at the pre retired or just retired, so that 401k, 403b, 457, SEP Simple, through a savings plan, all of those. That's what I'm rolling over lots of money, because I see lots of people in this age group. And then Social Security and RMDs happen, of course, are your traditionals. At 72, there's your income stream flow. Yeah, just a lot of questions to ask yourself when you claim. All kind of different benefits, but what the Social Security Administration will not do, they aren't going to ask you about, hey, how is your health? How is your DNA in your family? What kind of drugs do you take? What are your assets like? What's your income producing assets like pensions, or if you can pull an income from your 401k when you're retired? How about your expenses? What's your debt like? I mean, see, that's what a financial or a retirement specialist does. They go into all those areas. The Social Security Administration can only give that person one figure. It's their highest benefit they can get right now. That's it. That is it. So again, as I talked about, there's 3 ways to market and get, as they'd say in the backfields of Nebraska, you get learned up on Social Security claiming. You can do it through seminar marketing, $2,750. I just came off of 14 appointments, so I'm trying to get 10 appointments or more from my Social Security, and I've done I've done 549 Social Security seminars in general. Over 100 now have been Social Security. It's by far the biggest pull because 95% of all American publics do have a Social Security benefit. Get a load of this: 70 million people have some kind of a Social Security benefit coming in. 70 million people. Well, I'll tell you right now, 70 million, that's it's 20% of all of Americans get a Social Security benefit. Wild. But we coach you up at no charge. IAMS pays me to coach you there with that. Retirement Boss Radio, yeah, it's a recorded hour show, and we line up the radio time, which is the biggest expense. But there's a production company. We have a co-host, show notes, just great closes. I mean, it's been highly successful for me and some other advisors also. That's proprietary. And then lastly, 4 coaching sessions for $800. Dave, I have enough appointments. I have enough leads coming in. My book is big enough. I don't want to make any more money. That's what happens when you don't market. But you want to learn Social Security? Yeah, $800. There's no one else in the industry that's going to coach you up. And I have people that have taken there's 3 big Social Security designations that you can use on your card, like the CFP of or the CLU of Social Security, and they all 3 of them did coaching with me and said, they paid anywhere from $1,000 to $2,700, I think, and each one of them said we learn more, from coaching with you. Plus, you can use me. You can't call the person that put together, that designate, and call him on a daily basis for questions. Pretty interesting. So if you have any questions, type them in. We'll be more than happy. There's no saying. It says procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. And tomorrow never comes. Truly, don't procrastinate. If you heard something today that you said, I need to talk to Dave Pimper, and you don't talk to one of my associates, you're talking with myself. Yeah, I'm a good board of director, believe me. I mean, especially when it comes to Social Security and marketing, but to really get your practice, out of a rut. I remember, never forget this. Every time I say rut, I remember, of course I'm old, so Zig Ziglar was a big positive mental attitude guy, TMA guy, back in the 70s and 80s. But Zig Ziglar said, all a rut is a coffin without the ends. So if you're in a rut on production, let's get you out of that rut. If you mark yes on this, Brady Pelzer is going to give you a call today. And thank you very much. Steve, I'm pretty surprised. Remember, we thought, should we do it on Good Friday? Well, it's been a great Friday. I mean, we have
Yeah,
lots of people
a lot of interest.
on the webinar. Yeah. Steve actually texted me today and said, "Are you the one, Dave, that wanted to line up for Good Friday?" But I'm glad we did because we have a lot of attendance, and I hope everybody has a great Easter. But if you mark yes, yeah, we'll get together on the phone for it's low key, 15, 20 minutes, kind of see what you're doing, see if Social Security, if you're working the pre-retired or just retired, or you're working that annuity business, fixed indexed annuity, fixed annuity, lifetime annuity, split annuity. I'll tell you right now, and not knowing Social Security, I will promise you your production will go up virtually instantly if you really understand inside and out. And I can teach you that. So, Steve, I'll go ahead and see if we need to answer any questions, and then we'll kind of zip this thing up today.
Good, good. Well, a couple I can answer. So, a couple questions about will this slide presentation be available? So, you're going to receive a email after this event, and it will basically offer this webinar. So, the slides we don't send the slides out, but you'll have a copy of the webinar that you can use. So there's a question about slide presentation for seminars. Dave, talk a little bit about your Social Security seminar and what's included in that. The question that I have here is this the slide presentation you use for your seminar? You might want to go through a little bit about how that works for Social Security seminars.
Yeah, those are the actual slides. I mean, there's some things in there though about producers that I don't have, but when you see the majority of those slides, you're seeing about 20%. There's 44 slides in my presentation. Depending on how fast you want to do it, it takes me when I go in, introduce myself and my staff, and kind of go through my background. That takes about 10 minutes, and normally about 50 minutes is the presentation. Like yesterday, I actually had a good friend of mine pass, as Steve knows, and funeral. So we had a lot of friends that came in. One was from Arizona, one was from Oklahoma, and good friends of mine growing up. That was friends of my friend that died, and so I wanted to get out there early. So, and Amy was pretty proud of me, Steve. We did the entire from start to finish in about 40 minutes, between 40 and 45, and we got, yesterday we didn't have nearly as many people show up. We had 6 buying units yesterday, but we got 4 appointments, and then the one before we had 14 buying units, so we got 10 appointments. So we have 10 and 4. We have 14 set appointments. Now, I will let you know, folks, we just signed up yesterday a person for Social Security seminars, and he wanted to know, because he does some right now, but he had heard the success that we're having, and he said, how many of those appointments fall out? Well, if you do it the right way, I mean, like we call yesterday, we had 10 set appointments from the Wednesday's first. We have 2 seminars off of one campaign, and that campaign costs $2,750. What happens is 10 people signed up, and I asked Natalie in the afternoon, and she said every single one of them answered the phone or called her right back, and all of them got set. We didn't lose one. And so I would say normally we lose 1 out of 10, but depending on today, those 4 appointments, we might get the 14 and not have one that drops out. There's a system that you do of the way that you call up, what you say at the workshop. I mean, I say at the workshop, hey, put your daytime phone number on that. If it's a work number, I certainly understand if you got to call at your break. But when Natalie calls, please respect that call. We respect your time, respect ours. We're busy. Please take that call so we can know what time. They put a date and a time, but the time is like from 8:30 to 10:30, from 10:30 to 12, and so they don't go upon each other. Yeah, and every one of them took her call. So we teach the people kind of what to say. Steve, there's a little bit of an art to the seminar business,
Well,
and
absolutely.
when you do 500, and I say I'm not patting my back, but I may be beating my chest a touch. But 550 seminars, not many people in this industry has done 500 public seminars, and I have 100 of them around Social Security. So So anyway, yeah, if you've got interest, Mark, yes, I'd love to talk with you on that.
And so back to her original question is, are these the slides? So some of these are the slides, but the slideshow would be part of the seminar that's available. The coaching on Social Security claiming is part of the seminar. The 2750, that's the fee that you will pay for every seminar round. So as Dave mentioned, he does 2750 for 2 seminars. And Dave, you usually do those, what, Tuesday, Thursday of a week?
Tuesday, Thursday, but you know what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It used to be Wednesday was church night.
Mhm.
Sadly enough, it's not much church night anymore, which is too bad. But so we do Wednesday seminars, and we can't do Tuesday, Thursday. Monday was always an open night. I mean, there isn't school activities on Monday. We
Mhm.
always call the day before. I don't love that you call on Friday for the Monday because people can forget. But on a last resort, we'll do it Monday. And you know what? We've had pretty good luck on Monday because there's hardly any conflicts. But you're right. Tuesday, Thursday is the best. We couldn't line up at this library. We couldn't line up the Tuesday time, so we do a Wednesday, Thursday, and we still come away with 14 appointments. So quite a bit of flexibility there.
Yep. And so another question of clarification came in when you mentioned so when you pay the 2750, you get all that, and that's what you'll pay ongoing for each seminar. Basically, that 2750 or each 2 seminars, I should say, that 2750 guarantees you 35 registrants. So when Dave is talking about the 4 and the 10, what he's talking about there, Selena, is the people that actually made appointments from the seminar. So we got 14 appointments from 2 seminars, and the
At
total
at
cost
at the seminar. I
at the
mean,
seminar.
there's set appointments at the seminar. That's correct. Yeah.
And that cost is 2,750, which is about 1,400 less than what you normally see from you know what I would call not associated other just groups that just set do seminar mailings. If you're doing a seminar mailing, you're probably doing a hard mail. You're probably easily paying around the 4,000 level to get that many registrants. And often, Dave, I mean, you get a minimum of 35, but you mentioned David out in Oregon, he got 60. You mentioned a couple others. You're getting a lot of 40, 50, 55 registrations
We are.
for that 2750. So you're probably going to be sitting in front of 35 or so people if things work out the way that they should. So that's good. But getting through that whole process, Dave has a team that works with him through the coaching, getting the seminar set up right, making sure that you know everything that you need to do in order to maximize. Getting 5 more people there by making sure the phone calls are made prior, that can make all the difference in success. It could be 1 or 2 of those 5 that writes that $300,000 or $400,000 ticket with you. So by all means, that's really important. There is a question about radio, Dave, and I know we're running short on time. Can you walk through Retirement Boss Radio? And while you're doing that, you might want to give them the website where they can listen to one of your radio shows.
You bet. The website is www.retirementbossradio.com. www.retirementbossradio.com. Steve, I was just smiling because I remember when they didn't say www, they said it's on the World Wide Web.
Yes.
Like
Yep. You're old. You're
what a
old.
big, the World Wide Web. Wow. Yeah, it's an hour recorded, so it's pre-recorded. Can do it as long as you got internet connection. I mean, office, home, could even do it in your car or the motel room, because it's software. And so we have a co-host, and that co-host, Steve, who is the same co-host with all the people that do our show now, and he's very good. He's the color guy. He makes you look great, and believe me, with all of the cutting and editing and mixing, they can make almost anybody sound really good on the radio. And you go off of show notes, so it's not read. And those are so it's I don't know, Steve, but once in a while we'll have that question: do I have to be security licensed or like advisory licensed? Not at
Mhm.
all. I mean, do I think it helps? I do because I've always had that. But are there people out there? I mean, there's an FMO, Steve, and you know who they are. I mean, I don't like the idea they read their scripts, but they have some tremendously successful people, and they're strictly insurance licensed. They do the fixed indexed fixed life side of the business. So what happens on this? The whole goal is to get the appointment, and I want to get a minimum of 10. The least I've ever gotten in a month after the first month when I started is 8. 8 appointments in the month. The most I've ever had is 21. I mean, I had 4 set appointments from Retirement Boss Radio. That's pretty cool. That we have real strong closing, and our 800 number always ends in 2677, which is BOSS. Like my number is 888-975-267. 2677, which is BOSS for Retirement Boss Radio. But I coach you up. I coach you up on seminar marketing. Cost varies, but I would say average $3,000 to $4,000 per month. We need 100,000 population in the listening of your radio station and the metropolitan area, and it's pretty cool. It's a very turnkey system, and I take about we actually record for 30 minutes, and then we pick up a 30-minute recording. Saves us on production time, saves us on time that we have to record, but it's a big deal. I mean, we just got a Retirement Boss Radio lead on Monday or Tuesday earlier in the week, and Natalie said, "This could be a good one, Dave." And he said, "Why?" He said, "Well, because I called him back after it came over. He called in on the show, which goes to a call center. And anyway, then when Natalie, my administrator, called him to set it to verify it, he says, "Well," he said, I'm going to either do it with Mr. Pimper or another firm, but I got about $2 million. Well, that's exciting. I mean, and that's the one thing, you'll see more dollars from radio. There's fewer advisors doing radio than seminars. But Steve, we know this. We can tell that seminar business is really coming back, and because things are opening up. Well, I'll tell you right now, radio has always been strong, and if you're fortunate enough to have a good spot, a good radio station, we have a turnkey system that'll hopefully really feed a lot of prospects to you. So that's a cool thing. And then also, IAMS pays me, the FMO pays me to coach you up on Social Security if you don't know it. So it's kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there.
That's really good stuff.
Is that not politically correct? Can I say that?
You could say that. Yeah, birds get killed all the time, Dave.
Okay, well, I thought I might have to say we could wound 2 birds with 1 stone, but I want to make sure I'm politically correct here.
Well, I would verify it with Amy.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I agree.
I may not be politically correct myself. So I would say Corey and Adelina, hopefully you have. I know you've got 2 or 3 questions each about more specific Social Security claiming questions. I would hope that if you made an appointment with Dave, he will be glad to answer those. If you have, or if you put yes on that poll, we can get you set up and have you a quick call with Dave. We've got a little over time, and I apologize to everybody for that. Really good stuff today. As Dave mentioned, I'm surprised that we had such a large group today. So thank you all for joining us. Just goes to show you that there's always a thirst out there for knowledge around important things like this. And this is a subject matter that will grow your business. There's just we've seen it over and over again. When we first started doing it, we weren't so sure, but it will grow your business. So hopefully you'll take advantage of it. I left that poll open for a minute just in case Corey and Adelina, if you hadn't hit yes on that, if you would, that would be great. Don't be afraid to put no. We're definitely okay with no's. Plenty of people to talk to. We appreciate you joining us today. Dave, I appreciate you joining us today as well. I know you had a busy Good Friday schedule as well. So we have a real bias towards helping people looking to find ways to grow their business and to help their clients more. So give us a call. Let us know we need help. That number, 800-255-5055. If you need the retirement analyzer, I saw someone who's looking for that. That's Marcus at 800-255-5055. And thank you for joining us here today. Dave, is there anything that you want to say as we close up?
No, just have a great Easter and just enjoy your family this weekend.
Perfect. Love it. Everybody have a great, as Dave mentioned, a great Easter, and look forward to helping you grow your business come Monday. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.